and welcome everyone to the fifth session of the COVID Care Healing Handbook. We have Mansi here with us, and Mansi is a yoga instructor. She's a wellness consultant, and she is an entrepreneur. She's the founder of House of Kapali, which is an experiential wellness space. And it is so lovely to have you here again, Mansi. This time, I'm sure we're going to make this work.
Exactly. That's a part of the plan, like you said, right? It's like it's all happening at the pace exactly how it's supposed to. So we're not holding back anything. But yes, thank you so much for your very warm welcome. Thank you for having me here. It's so lovely to be a part of all of your endeavors, because I know that you keep creating all these beautiful things that are equally creative, equally powerful. So, this is your way of putting out the Shakti in the world, and I'm very honored to be a part of it.
Oh, I am very, very grateful and honored to have you here. And today, Mansi is going to be talking to us about caring for a loved one without neglecting yourself. And the reason I thought Mansi would be the perfect person to talk to us about this, given the current scenario, is because she herself has been through a journey, so-called journey recently, wherein everyone in her family was tested positive, almost everyone, including herself. And her journey of taking care of her loved ones, I think your mother, Mansi, was quite serious at one point in time, right? And having to care for her, having for anyone to care for her, having to care for a loved one who's really seriously ill, or if not even seriously ill enough to have to receive that care from others around them. And given the times that we're living in, it can be quite mentally and emotionally exhausting. So tell us a little bit about how you were able to care for those around you without really taking that care element away from your own self, like while also taking care of your own self.
That's such a beautiful question. I love the way you sort of reorchestrated it. It sounds like divine, right? It's just the perfect reality that you take care without neglecting the taking care of your own self.
Yeah, because I believe, especially when you're taking care of a loved one, like I said, it can be quite a mentally and emotionally draining experience. And after a while, it can be very difficult to do so unless you're also taking care of your own self. And that is such an important element in being able to care for someone else. So tell us how you did it.
I mean, that's what I think, right? You can't, as much as you want to, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
You've got to be full, you've got to be brimming with all of the good stuff to be able to pour out as much as you want to. But if your reserves are down and your battery is like down and you're shutting out, you can't do it. So I think even though like you feel like there's a crisis around you, it's important to take that moment and just, do the grounding, do the centering. In that one moment when you feel that rush come in, when you feel that it's, everything is collapsing around you, right in that moment, it's the moment to really go into that void, go into that inner center and tune in and be like, okay, is this the end of the world? It probably isn't. Are you hitting rock bottom? Maybe you are. But, there are two options from there, right? Either you stay rock bottom and, you stay there, or you start to figure out a way to start to breathe and start to make your way up. Right. If that's the choice you make, and then it's got to be, then everything comes into a space of consciousness, right? So then we are very consciously becoming conscious of being conscious. So then the choice is that, right? You made it clear, which means that you said that you're going to breathe your way through this. And once you said that, and once you live it, you're doing it, then that's the energy you're sending out. You're sending out that stability. You're sending out that positivity. You're sending out that vessel-like energy that here, I'm here to hold you because I'm holding myself, because my roots are grounded.
Right.
So this is what I always say, that deeper your roots, and that's the work you do on an ongoing basis. You can't do it then and there. This is the work that we do, like, as beings. This is what we have, like, we came to this point in the pandemic, to this, this like low point in our lives, because we were able to maybe process and handle this as a generation of people. There was something that needed to happen and churn as a generation, not as individuals. We tend to think that, why me, and this whole attitude that this is about me and I'm being, like, this testing period. But it's not, it's about humanity as in general, right? Like, we've learned more than ever before that we're in this together. Nobody's an island, nobody's isolated, even though we're all isolating, but we're all connected at such an intrinsic level. And what a paradox that that's the reality that, that kind of really comes to the forefront, that we're deeply connected, we're viscerally connected, more than we ever fathomed. So I think that's what really helped me through. It's it's the two things. It's the grounding work you do on an ongoing basis, your sadhana, your practices, whatever it is. But I think it's important that we have a certain line of discipline, a spiritual discipline that you follow, that sees you through. It's important, whatever it might be. Either it's, you just like sit quiet, like mindfulness, that's it, or Buddhism, or whatever kriyas, whatever calls to you. Find that one path that sees you through. So then you're taken care of in terms of the sustainable sustenance. Right. But in terms of those days when you're churning, and when you're, when everything around you is brewing a storm, that's when you really step into your consciousness. You really step into, the call of the providence within you. You need to access it. There's no other option. And so I think we'll do some breathing to, like, taste it a little bit, things that worked for me. Right. And then after that, I think I want to do also a little bit of, like, trauma release, because no matter how much we think we're not accumulating, but we are, like, we're getting so distressed on a moment-to-moment basis, not just because we're caring for our loved ones. We're getting, it's an over sensory experience from all sides. And, we're overstimulated by news of distress from everywhere. And we're starting to become escapists. I mean, we have been a society of escapists, but that's getting even more pronounced. Right. So it's important to bring consciousness back. It's important to bring mindfulness back, but not just the words, but, like, the feelings, the essence. Just, like, really be with it. So, okay, I think let's do some breathing.
So I have a question though before we begin.
Yeah.
Is it your consistent practice of mindfulness and yoga over the years that helped you kind of sail through this phase in your life relatively more easily and calmly? If you hadn't been practicing these techniques, if you didn't have access to these tools, do you think it would have been a different experience for you?
Yes, Shaira, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I know so. I'm so grateful every moment to have been, blessed, and the path that opened up to, walk on a long time ago. Right. And then, of course, then it's a matter of your own discipline, how much you let it imbibe in your spirit, how much you let it imbibe in your skin. That's up to you. But even, like, they say even one drop of spirituality is enough to revolutionize your entire world. So even if it wasn't such a stringent practice, if it wasn't, you didn't adhere to it as much as you could have or you should have, even then, I think it will see you through whatever you need to get through. Right. But in my case, definitely, it's just, I think the practice, it's everything. It's everything. The sadhana is everything. Yeah. I mean, I'm so grateful to the gurus and, to also the lineage we've been born into, to our country for, like, blessing us with all of this wisdom and knowledge that I think it's already inherent. You just have to re-access it. You have to just open up the portals. It's already embedded in our DNA. I think you have to just recognize it. It's
Right.
yeah.
Awesome. Great. So I think we're ready to be led.
Awesome. Lovely. Perfect. So very, very simple. Just to really, just to show that it doesn't take much to come into yourself, to come and, like really feel the texture of that deepest part of you. And that deepest part of you is in a perpetual, infinite state of stillness and silence, which is ever expansive. And once we reach that center, there's nothing that can touch it, right? Like all that chaos and movement, that's on the outside. But on the inside, it's this absolute magic, which is still and silent, which we know, we get glimpses of it every now and then, right? So all we need to do is to just little by little, just keep expanding that peephole and keep soaking it in as much as we can. Awesome. All right, let's do it. So let's sit tall. Let's roll the shoulders back and relax the shoulders. Palms on your knees, palms facing up. And we start to relax. You can close your eyes when you feel ready, now or later, as you like. And we start to relax the shoulders even more. And imagine that the weight from the shoulders is dropping off. Let it just slide off your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Relax your neck. Relax the area around your eyes. And just come into not the horizontal space or time. Come into the verticality of here and now. Here is the only space, now is the only time. Come into this now moment. And when you come here, soak in the constellation of sensations that surround you in this moment. Awaken your senses and soak it in. And when you come to the level of your breath, just start to observe this beautiful, natural, spontaneous exchange, offering and receiving with every in-breath and out-breath. This beautiful balance, receiving the energy, receiving each in-breath an opportunity to be born again, each out-breath to dissolve, complete dissolution of everything that you know, is complete surrender. With every in-breath, rise, become taller. As you exhale, surrender, let go of anything that holds you back. We're going to start coming into what we call connected breath, softly, gently opening your mouth and inhaling from the mouth and exhaling from the mouth, softly, gently, like a whisper. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, breathing from the mouth, feeling the coolness. As you exhale, feel the surrender. Inhale, exhale. One last time, deep inhale in, lengthen. Soak in the magic of this moment. As you exhale, let it all melt away. Let it just go. Coming into the natural cycle of your breath without doing anything in particular, just being in this moment, being in that expansive stillness, in that expansive silence. Observe how even 1 minute, 30 seconds of connecting with intention to your breath absolutely changes your vibration, changes your frequency. As you slowly open your eyes, take your time to come back into the physical body, as from this place of inner quiet, this inner sanctuary, we're going to start to create and release all of that stuff that's holding you back. And when we release on the emotional level, we release on the physical level or the emotional level, and deep inside the spirit, we clean it up. So take your hands, and we're going to make a little, present your knuckles, you fold your fingers in, and we're going to start knocking on the heart's gateway. So we just wrap the fingers at the end of the knuckles, and we knock with the knuckles on the heart center. And we start knocking left to right. You can close your eyes here. And we just start to feel all of that harshness as it's breaking away, as it's melting away, as we reach down into all the dark spaces. Come into the torso, open the hands and start cupping the torso. Come lower down and start patting the stomach. And feel that release, feel the sounds, hear the beating of the energy as it removes the darkness, the stillness, the stagnancy. The grief is a very stagnant emotion. Trauma is a stagnant emotion. We remove it with this powerful tapping. Come into your legs. Your hips store so much energy, which is all of your unprocessed emotion. Come into the kidneys, your filter. Tap it out. Right in the back of the hips. Detox the kidneys. Make their job easier. Come all the way into the legs. Keep breathing. Let your breath help you in this cleansing, in this de-stress. And start to make your way up, coming into the torso, back into the heart, into the neck, into the shoulders. Tapping gently, and then one arm, the other arm. Gentle cupping, gentle, even clapping. All the way up. Leave no part of your body undisturbed. Disrupt everything. And then release it all and take your hands, bring the tips of your fingers together and place them on your third eye center. Close your eyes and just be with this for a moment. Feel the sensations all over your body. Feel the energy vibrating through. Feel the reverberation through the length and breadth of your body. Feeling that renewal. Tap into that renewal. Tap into the release. As you slowly start to bring your hands down, place your hands on your knees. Still being with the sensations, being with that release. Surrender is the diametrically opposite of the emotion of suppression, when we release completely, when we let go at a level, at that subtle level, we don't even realize we're holding back. Slowly, as you open your eyes, we're going to let go from the throat, which is our center of authentic voice, our center of expressing our truth. So all we're going to do is right here, we're going to massage it and open it up like this. Yeah, only if it was so gentle. It needs harshness. So this is what we're going to do. Your eyes are going to become big and you're going to throw your tongue out open like this. Very, very powerful tiger's breath, and throw your body forward. If you can, bring your hands down on the ground with your fists facing, your fingers facing you. So you really bend forward. Or you can sit straight, that's fine too. We're going to do this 3 times. Very powerful to remove all of that subjugation and that suppression energy and help you come into your authentic voice and express your authentic truth, right? Because one life, only one, not 2, no other. This is the only time we have to be with each other, to connect with each other in the most truest, authenticest way. So let's do a little bit of work that helps us with that, right? So this is what we're going to begin. Let's do it together and be fearless in the pursuit of reaching deep into the darkest places and let it out so the light can shine through. We're going to inhale, and when you exhale, let it out. Whether it's a sound or a scream, whatever it is, let it out. Inhale. Inhale. One more deep inhale. This is going to be the biggest uproar you're going to make for a long time. Let it out. Release, roll your tongue back. Keep your eyes closed. And come into this space of transformation. Come into this space where you experience the metamorphosis. As the butterfly in you takes shape with all of its vibrancy and luminosity, beautiful colors, it takes flight right from the center of your heart. And as that butterfly takes flight, something in you gets deeply centered, deeply grounded. As you come into your space of expansive freedom, expansive joy, and utter exuberance. As we bring our hands to our heart center, as we bow our head into the heart, as we bow our knowledge into our wisdom, corners of our lips start to break into a smile as we recognize that this is so spontaneous, this joy is so natural, that the smile become more alive, more vibrant as you take a deep inhalation. You syncopate the slow and deep opening of your eyes to a soft exhalation.
Wow.
Ah,
I think if we would have done this a little bit longer, I would have definitely cried. I could feel the release happening with that
yeah.
whole that trauma exercise that you made us do, and the tongue exercise that you made us do.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
don't realize how much, how much everything
We're
is getting held and held.
suppressing. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah. And
yeah.
it's all, I think, physical, at the release at the physical level is what leads to more subtle, layers of release. So
Absolutely.
it's good to do the work. It
Right. Yeah, no,
was
it
so
was
beautiful to see you through that though.
beautiful, beautiful. It was beautiful. I really hope we had the leverage of time here to have an extended session, but
Yeah, but I think, it's like all you need is a taster, right? And then
right,
that you resonate with this and your body wants more, your breath wants more. So
right,
you'll naturally, you'll offer
absolutely,
that to yourself.
totally,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's just, it feels like such a natural state.
Yeah, because I feel like especially with something like trauma, like it needs that persistent work to actually,
Yeah, absolutely. So
let
much.
itself out of the body. Yeah,
Yeah, that's so true.
yeah.
Even like I find walking, I often tell you this, like for me, like the most beautiful therapy is walking barefoot on the morning dew, on the grass in the
Right.
morning.
Yes,
Like
yes, me
it's
too.
so healing.
Right.
And then or like sometimes just like ecstatic dance,
Yes,
even if it's not a ceremonial one, but just
right,
on your own, like you just find your own ecstasy moving the body. And yeah,
right,
like crying is so therapeutic. You just,
right,
sometimes we're so afraid of the tears. You were talking about that. So I
right.
think when we reach that stage where we're starting to melt down, we're
Yes,
going beyond the ego, right? Like
yes.
it's such a beautiful disillusion. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, what a beautiful exercise. Thank you so, so, so much. I do have a question though here, Mansi, because since we
Yeah.
are particularly addressing, the issue of being able to take care of ourselves while caring for for a loved one. What if we don't have the time to engage in such an elongated activity or exercise? How can we center ourselves or find that calmness within just a few seconds of just a few seconds or a few minutes?
Yeah. So, the ha breath, I find that it's so good to like just release. Let's do a few rounds of the ha breath. Okay. So, all we need to do is just we inhale through the nose and we exhale with the sigh sound through the mouth. Yeah.
Right.
And if we stand and do this and we really just let go and the knees are soft, you really let everything out. So, like this. So
Yeah.
you lengthen every time you inhale, and even the arms can lift up. And as you exhale, you like go into that complete surrender. So how much movement you want to bring, it's up to you. Do 3 rounds, do 6, do 11. But let's do 3 rounds now, just to like really like find get into the juice of it.
Right.
Close our eyes, lengthen the spine. And all we do is we inhale through the nostrils, and when we exhale, we make this beautiful sigh sound that represents surrender at a deep molecular level. Like really feel every cell in your body start to surrender. So let's do 3 rounds. Inhale. 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 Opening our eyes when we feel ready, but just a little bit of, shaking, a little bit of movement. Just shake out that state of mind. Just shake out, like, I think it would take, like we did the tapping, but if you could do the shaking and the shaking and shivers is a very powerful technique in psychology today, right, to like remove trauma, right? So if you could just like shake it out for like even 30 seconds or 1 minute, you're just standing and shaking.
Yeah, if you do it standing, I think it also activates your kundalini.
Oh, very much.
Yes.
Of course. Yeah.
Right.
Very much, because the central energy starts to flow up because it's all to do with the spinal cord, which is our super highway, right? And then the energy starts like, the
circulating and
starts circulating. Yeah. So then it's really nice to stand and do it. I mean, right. So if you were going to do something for 2 minutes, then you just do that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think more than any technique or thing to do, I think it's more important to like just be conscious. Just,
right,
sort of invite consciousness into as much of your day as you can. Like remember, like keep reminding yourself that I'm present, not do it mindlessly, but like mindfully, and,
right,
not get carried away in the stress, and because it gets the better of you. But,
right,
we need to just stay grounded, tell yourself, it's okay, I'm breathing, I'm fine. We're going to get through this. So I think trust, hope, and a little bit of joy, whatever you can conjure up.
Right.
It can get us through. Like, I think joy and happiness is a very powerful tool we forget to like deploy. So even in that phase of adversity, like if we can smile through it,
right,
I think we'll give out that vibration to whoever you're caring for. They'll also feel better. They don't want someone who's putting out panic and fear to be around them, man. Like, no, that's the last thing they need. You're doing them the highest disservice.
Right.
By, offering your panic into their body when you're actually physically touching them. So yeah, that's definitely a big no-no, right? Yeah.
Right, totally. And I think even with respect to this practice and the tools that you've shared, they are great to employ during a time like this to calm ourselves down. But I really believe and I really hope that people can start employing these as a daily life consistent practice, because like you said, the reason that you were kind of able to sail through it relatively more calmly and relatively more easily is because it has been a consistent practice for you for years. And given the situation that we're in, I think it's the perfect time for us to make this a consistent practice starting now. So I really hope for all our viewers to start making this a consistent practice, because honestly I think the benefits of it are only they're immense. I mean, I can't even begin to talk about how immense they are. So yes, it has been such a beautiful session. Thank you so much, Mansi, again for coming on here, for offering your beautiful gift, sharing your beautiful gift with the rest of us. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, beautiful. It always is a pleasure to share the space with you, because you make for such a loving vessel. I can't say it enough. You do. Thank you so much for doing everything that you do. All your conversations have been so stimulating and so information generating. I think you're doing such a beautiful offering, especially when, everyone really needs that helping hand in whichever area. So you're doing like nutrition, you're doing emotional stability, breath work, like all of it, So like, it just makes for such a beautiful toolkit for someone who's going through, I mean, not someone, but all going through it. So, like I've tuned into your sessions, and they've been so deeply moving at different, at so many different levels. So thank you for doing what you do.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be able to contribute in any little way that I can. And it wouldn't be possible without each one of you contributing in your own peculiar ways and, offering your own expertise over here. So, like you said, I'm just a vessel. You guys are doing, this real work by sharing what you have to share. So, thank you so much for that.
Beautiful. Take care. Thank you, Shaira.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.